Hello. Long time no see, for sure. We got Polly here, as always. And I'm here to talk about 14 and 15 weeks. Yeah. Gosh, that's a lot of weeks. Let me just start by saying the pink, the blue, means nothing. There's a lot to go over in this video, and there's a reason that I didn't do last week's update or whatever. My hair is going crazy. I got it cut, and the ends are a little too healthy, so now they kind of sprawl everywhere, and Polly is eating the computer cord, so off to a great start. I'm going to start with the gender reveal because, or lack thereof. Here's the thing. And I could literally make an hour-long video on this reveal, planning around it, the stress leading up to it, not getting the results on time, spoiler alert, all of the things. But I'm going to try to condense it, and I'm going to try to keep my feelings pretty minimal because I have had such a roller coaster of emotions these past 2 weeks or so. I don't even know, a long time. And it's really just taken this pregnancy journey through a loop-de-loop. I'll start from the beginning because I feel like that's kind of where it all went wrong. When I visited my first doctor, they brought to my attention that you can take your blood test and it be you'd get the results way sooner than waiting for your anatomy scan to know your gender. And then when I went to this other doctor, the one that I'm currently at, they said the same thing, but it was a couple of weeks off. So I was like, that's a little unfortunate, having to wait a couple weeks, but then I was like, wait, no, it's not, because I'm still getting to know so soon. So I, as we all know, Morgan and Melanie, my mom's friend, and her daughter have been planning this gender reveal. I called the doctor before they even set the date, and I confirmed with them, hey, if I get my test done on this date, does this date work for the gender reveal? And she said, yeah, no problem. And I'm like, great, book it. So they started planning everything, and then I go to the doctor's office to actually get my blood drawn, and I asked the blood drawer lady just to triple check, because it's next weekend, worst case scenario, we can move things around. Do you think that this date is good still? And I don't know, it's probably not the same person I talked to, so this is now a second person that said, yeah, no problem. Okay, you getting where I'm going with this? The doctor herself, I said, is this date okay? She said, yes, no problem. Not one of them said, you might want to push it back a weekend. Oh, it may or may not come in on time. All of them were like, absolutely. My doctor said you should get it within a week. Worst case scenario, a week and 2 days. I'm like, great, because my gender reveal was a week and 4 or 5 days away. Flash forward to that, I had my appointment on Tuesday. That next Tuesday, we were all waiting by the phone. So they were going to call me with the genetic testing results, which we also did, and the gender, of course, I would have told to tell Morgan, not me. But anyway, they didn't call Tuesday, they didn't call Wednesday, and Morgan actually starts freaking out more than I am, because I'm like, they said, it could be Thursday. A week and 2 days is what she said. So, but Morgan called anyway and was just like, hey, just checking in. I'm the one throwing the gender reveal. Just want to make sure everything's good. So nice about it. And the people were so nice about it. They were just like, yeah, I don't have the results yet. We're like, okay. Thursday comes around and we don't get a call. And that's Wednesday nights where I started to panic a little bit because doubt started to set in. And then Thursday I was like, hello. I call Thursday because we were at the nail salon and my phone died. And I was like, oh man, my phone died. My mom was like, you're really gonna let your phone die right now? Like, you're gonna get a call today. And I was like, oh my God, you're right, duh. So I called them and I was like, hey, if, on my mom's phone, I said, hey, if you are calling with the results today, just call this number instead. They were like, oh yeah, let me just check. We don't have them. And I'm like, okay, do you think you're gonna get them by tomorrow? She said, probably not. In that moment, I'm gonna make like a big disclaimer at the end of all of this like ranting. So I'm just kind of like going back through the emotions again, because this is for my baby to see someday, and this is what happened, and it's all just like a story. So, but anyway, in that moment, I was just like, oh my God, we're gonna have to cancel this gender reveal. And we had people coming in from out of town. They had spent a lot of money on this. Like, they had planned so hard for it. I was devastated. I was devastated because I'm a people pleaser, and the thought of like letting down the people that planned this for me, and the thought of telling like literally all of my friends and family, like my closest knit of people, hey, we don't have the results yet, never mind, it's canceled. That just like stressed me out the most, because I knew in the back of my mind, like, I was gonna get my results eventually, and I was gonna get my genetic testing results eventually. Like, that part I wasn't stressed about, because I knew, like, if I wasn't gonna get them at the end of the week, I knew I was gonna get them the following week. It was the reveal itself that caused so much stress for me. And it was this whole ordeal all of Friday. I'm calling them and I'm like, hey, do you have the results yet? They're like, no, call back at this time. I call back at this time. Oh, and they closed at like 12 on Friday or something like that. So that was cool. They like had a half day. I was just calling. They told me to call back. I called. They're like, no, call back at this time. So anyway, at my last call back before they closed, I was like, what am I supposed to do? Can I call the like lab? And I was like, is there anything that can be done so I don't have to cancel this freaking reveal? Like, this just is like worst case scenario, especially again because I knew like the results were literally going to come in within a couple of days next week. And I was just like, is there any way to like just push it up a couple of days? Come on, please. Saturday morning. Is the lab open on Saturday morning? My reveal's on Saturday, but if the lab can call us Saturday morning, like, we'll make it work. Morgan also called a bunch of times too, which I hope that they don't think that like I put her up to that, because she called without knowing I already called. I probably called without knowing she already called. Like, we didn't really communicate it until after the fact, because in my head, like Wednesday or Thursday, whenever they told me you're probably not going to get the results, I didn't tell Morgan and Melanie that because I didn't want them to stress or worry at all. I was going to tell them the bad news once I for sure got the bad news on Friday, like, hey, it's probably going to get canceled. And they knew like they don't have the results, so it's not like it would have been some big shocker. The lab even said we're open until 5 today on Friday, so you can call us back. We check our like results at noon, 3, and 5. Call us back at those times. And Morgan did each time. And the lab people, they were so sweet. The doctor's office, everyone was so sweet. Again, I'm a people pleaser. I just hope that they all don't think that I was just like some crazy psycho person, like, where are my results? Because everyone was so nice and I was so nice and whatever. But a lot of phone calls happened that day. And the lab eventually at 5 said, nope, we don't have them. I thought, it's a done deal. It's over. Of course, we can't have the reveal with no results. So I texted everybody. It was like, yep, this sucks, but it is what it is. Like, unfortunately, you know, this is just going to be what we have to do. And the biggest thing I was stressing out about the absolute most was if Morgan and Melanie and my mom and anyone else who pitched in for this reveal, like, couldn't get refunds on everything. Because I'm here thinking that we're canceling the whole thing. We're not rescheduling it, because why would we reschedule it, right? So I was like, if they lost all this money, and like, of course, like the time planning it and everything, but like the money, I was so stressed out about. I was like, you know, a gender reveal is also like, it's a little extra, as we all know. It's not necessary. It's it's like this big party and it's so special for sure, but at the end of the day, like necessity wise, you don't need to have a gender reveal. So I felt so silly. I just felt so guilty. I was just like, why did I even want to reveal in the first place? It was a dumb idea. Nobody's gonna get their money back. Like this is just like a worst case scenario, just like a nightmare for me as a people pleaser. I was just like, this is all my fault. I don't know what I could have done differently, but I should have done something differently. Like if we had gone to the doctor on Monday instead of Tuesday, I bet you they would have gotten it in that day, because guess when I got the call of my results? The following Monday, bright and early. Which to me tells me that they either had the results ready by Friday and they sent them over on Monday, or it's so quick and easy to check the results that you can check them really quick and then call the patient, because by Friday at 5 o'clock when the lab closed, and by Monday by the time they called me, they were only open for a handful of hours. So that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Either they had the results and they didn't give them to us because it's like paperwork and whatever, or it really was they could have just checked it right then and there. But I know it's not all about me. I'm very aware of that. My disclaimer is coming at the end. So it was just unfortunate. And then I was just stressing out so much about it. I genuinely experienced like major pregnancy moodiness, because I'm generally a very positive, think on the bright side of things, a very sunshiny person, a very grateful, kind of a humble, just, oh, don't worry about it, like type of person. And this experience with this reveal and this pregnancy, I mean, I'm not trying to blame the baby or anything, but these hormones have just completely sucked all of that out. I was so miserable to be around, I'm sure. I was just so grumpy. I was so frustrated. I was so stressed, and I was in a funk. I was so sad. I legitimately could not get out of the funk. And it was like, again, at the back of my mind, I knew everything was like fine. Like everything was fine. It's just a gender reveal. But I just could not get over the fact that, like, on one hand, if we cancel the reveal, everyone just loses all their money, and that's just like so frustrating for me. On the other hand, if we reschedule it, I have to wait a bunch of extra days and weeks to know my gender just to have a stupid reveal. And the whole thing just felt so dumb to me. It just felt so extra and useless, and I just was like spiraling. I was spiraling. So, anyway, we get the results on Monday. I'm going to go into like the genetic testing and all of that too. This is just the gender reveal story, which is already super long. I told you I could go on and on, because it truly, like, it changed like a lot of my outlook on this pregnancy, just because the way I was responding was just so negative. And anyway, we get the results on Monday, or Morgan knows the results. Like, she knows the gender, but she's pretty tight-lipped about it. And okay, we're like thinking, let's reschedule because we can't get this refund. And also Morgan and they weren't saying that. I was saying that, like, y'all can't get a refund. We have to reschedule. I'm not going to let that happen to y'all. Morgan and Melanie were like, we want to have this party for you. Like, we've planned it. Like, we want you to have that special moment. It shouldn't be taken away from you. When they were saying that, like, again, I was in my funk. I was like, I don't care about this reveal anymore. I feel like the experience is ruined. It's not going to be fun anymore. By the time we were having the results, or the reveal, it would have been February, which like didn't really go with the theme. It did, but it didn't. And so what ended up happening is we ended up rescheduling. We couldn't do it the following weekend. So this weekend, right now, today's Saturday, we could not do it today because it is Brandon's parents' anniversary and they're in Vegas, and 100% not going to have a reveal without them. And so we settled for next weekend. But this whole rescheduling process has also stressed me out a lot too, because I genuinely did not want to reschedule. If I had it my way, I would have just gotten the call, or maybe like picked up the envelope and like done a cute little thing with just Brandon and recorded it and maybe sent it to like the family and everything. Like, I didn't want this big party anymore. I was just so over it at that point. I'd spent like days and days and days from like Wednesday till like I would say a couple of days ago before we like actually rescheduled it. Just like a week maybe of just consistent negativity and stress, and just like I was just so down, and it was so sad. It was really, really sad. But anyway, then like we, rescheduled it for the 11th, which is a week from today. And we sent out the re-invites, like, or the rescheduled invites. We're like, hey, like, haha, so funny. We're rescheduling it. Wasn't that a funny joke? Like, started to like finally feel better about it, because Morgan was like, hey, I was just thinking, if you wanted to switch up the theme a little bit. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. Because the thought of like pushing off this party and doing it how we were going to do it before, like for some reason in my brain, it just felt like that party like died, or like it just felt like that party was, I just had a lot of negative feelings about that party after I had to cancel it. I don't know why. I just was like, it was just very stressful to think about. Every time they brought it up, I was like, oh my God, this stupid reveal. Like, I don't want to do this. And she said, let's take out all like the winter, or the winter aspect, and let's just make it like green and whites and golds, like greenery and whites and golds and silver, and just like a fresh and like baby's breath everywhere. And I was like, yes, like, yes. It just felt like I was coming out of my funk a little bit, and I was like, you know what, this just truly feels like a revamp. It just feels like a new party, like something new to look forward to. I don't even have to think about the old party. It never happened. We're just moving forward in this situation. And I was like, you know what, if I'm forced to reschedule, I am fine with this, and we're going to have a great time. And I started getting a better attitude about it. And then I get a call from my best friend Lauren, and she said, please tell me you did not just schedule or reschedule this for the 11th. And I said, yes, I did. Why? Like, I knew this would happen. We literally had 100% attendance, or 100% RSVP attendance for the old reveal. I just knew that if you reschedule something like that, I was worried a lot of people weren't going to be able to come, because it's Valentine's Day weekend and people just might have other plans in general. And lo and behold, my best friend Lauren cannot come, because I literally planned it for the exact day and the exact time she's having an event in her salon. And she's already paid for this whole thing. And like, the vendors are coming, and it's her salon, and she has like appointments and everything. Like, she cannot get out of it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, my best friend cannot be there. Like, are you serious? And I should have known. And then there comes the guilt again, and there comes the people pleasing. I'm like, why did I not remember that she has this event? I should have known better. And she is so sad about it. I'm so sad about it. But also at the same time, I'm like, like low key in the back of my mind, I'm like, this reveal has caused so much stress for me that it just makes me feel so silly thinking to have it in the first place. But then the second I talk to Morgan and Melanie about it, the second they bring up like how excited they are, the second they bring up a detail about it, like their positivity and their support and their loyalty with this is so strong that like it reminds me that yes, this is why I was having the reveal. I wanted my family and my friends to be there for this big special moment. Yes, it kind of got ruined, and it's not the end of the world. So I'm glad that we're rescheduling. I'm glad we're redoing the party a little bit, so it's not like the same old party that we were doing before. I have like a new perspective on it. And all that to say, here's my disclaimer, okay? I am incredibly lucky. I am blessed beyond absolute belief that I am pregnant right now, and that my baby is healthy, and that I am healthy, and that my family and my friends are healthy, and that everything is literally fine. Everything is fine. Knock on wood. Here I am, literally getting acne from stress about this reveal. Genuinely just like in a bad mood. Like I felt the stress, like physical stress in my body. And I know it's the pregnancy hormones. Like I'm very, very aware that I don't typically react this way to things like this. Like at all. If anything, I get a little like anxious about stuff, but I don't have multiple days in a row where I felt the way that I felt. And it was very humbling because I was like, once I came out of the funk, and I guess like time just kind of fixed it a little bit and the stress subsided by us rescheduling and figuring everything out. Once I was out of the funk, I was like, wow, how silly was I to be that stressed out about it? But I truly couldn't help it. And I just would like to again reiterate that I'm very aware how lucky I am and that I have this many people that care about the reveal. I'm so grateful that I have a family and a friend group to have the reveal with, and all of these things I should have and typically would have been thinking about if I weren't like pregnant, I guess, with like these pregnancy hormones. Like my old self would have been saying all of these things to me, and my mom, bless her heart, she was trying to. She was like, Gabby, you're gonna be fine. And I was like, I know I'm gonna be fine. I know everything's fine, but I can't not be mad. I was more mad than anything. Not at the lab people, not even at the doctor, I was mad at myself. I was just mad at myself. And I can't even like put it into words because honestly it didn't make sense. I'm putting my hair up because it is driving me nuts. But when Brandon said I'm moody, he may have been onto something. He may have been onto something because maybe I didn't see it before, but I see it now. I am a moody Trudy, 100%. And I hate it. I really, really hate it. I've never been like this. I think I had like a phase when I was a teenager where I was just mad all the time. And my mom even, I remember like her driving me home one night being like, or one day after school being like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you so grumpy all the time? I'm like, I don't know. Probably hormones. And here I am with hormones again. And so, I mean, I'm just not used to having changes in my body like this. I don't know how to say this without being like TMI. I never took any medicine. I never took any lady medicine. If you're picking up on my drift. So I'm not used to my hormones being like regulated. I'm just used to them being just like how they are. And I've just lived with that, and I was happy with that. And now like being pregnant with all these hormones, it's like my body and my brain does not know what to do with them. And when something like a little road bump like this happens, I mean, it's not a little road bump, it was a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal at the same time. When an event like this happens, I would typically just be so sunshine and rainbows about it. And here I was like legitimately, like I have acne now. And I know that's from the stress. I know it's from the stress, and I know it's from the hormones. Anyway, that's the deal with the gender reveal. That's why over the weekend I just did not feel like filming one of these because I was in my funk. I was just so down. I was so mad. It would have just been like a rant about how like I hate the world and just everything sucks and blah, blah, blah. It worried me a lot. I'm not crying. I had to sneeze and it's gone, so I'm not getting emotion over here. It worried me a lot that the way I reacted to a stressful situation like that, I told him, I was like, postpartum, I'm kind of nervous. I'm a little bit nervous because my body is doing all this work with all these hormones. I don't know how the hormones work after you're pregnant. I'm sure you still have some. I'm sure different ones come. Like, I don't know how the science works with all of that. All I know is the term postpartum depression is thrown around a lot, or baby blues is thrown around a lot. And if I can't get a grip on myself, and if I can't pull myself out of funks like that sooner, or if I just don't know, like I felt very, there's Polly. I just felt very out of control, and I felt very like everything was just so new to me. I've never really felt that way before. And again, like I've always been able to just be my own like support system and like get myself out of like anxious moods and stuff, and I wasn't able to do that, and it was really scary. So I've already talked to Brandon about it, and I'm like we got to come up with a plan, okay? Because I can't be doing that. And I probably don't have control over it, but like it worried me for a hot second about postpartum. So I'm gonna do my very best to just be happy and just like not be stressed out. And when stressful things happen, like I'm literally going to have to like slap myself in the face and be like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Who cares? So all that to say, everything's fine. We are rescheduling the gender reveal, and we're going to know a week from today because we do have the results now. Yes, indeed we do. And everything's going to be so fun. I'm very, very excited. So the genetic testing results also all came back healthy and positive. I forget what they tested for. Trisomy? There was like 3 trisomy numbers that they tested for, and everything was fine. So that makes me super happy. I love my little baby working so hard in there, but I'm just going to quickly, at this point, just like so quickly, just skim through. I did write down 14 and 15 week symptoms. We're going to go just down the list at this point. So 14 weeks. I said, food makes me feel satisfied and full. I'm back to normal, which I would say is like 90% true. There's definitely foods I have no interest in that I used to eat all the time. I am currently eating foods right now that I used to eat. Not like pre-pregnancy, like, like years ago I used to eat these foods and I want them again. And for some reason, I don't want any of the foods I've had in like the last year or so. But I'm chilling and I'm happy and I feel full. I get some cravings sometimes. I mean, they're not like crazy pregnancy cravings, but I'm like, oh, I really, really want this. So food is good. We're good to go. I wrote on here less headaches, and then later that day I said, just kidding, I have one right now. I'm still getting headaches almost daily, not daily, consistently now, but it's at least every other day, sometimes a couple days in a row. I don't know why. I think, of course, from all the stress for sure, but like I literally could not be drinking more water. Like truly, I don't know what my body wants from me, because when I drink all this water, I just pee it all out instantly. So it's like, what do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? But I get headaches either way. I am getting bleeding gums now when I brush and floss my teeth. It's like a tongue twister. I am getting bleeding gums now. Not chill, not cute, not fun. Nothing hurts or anything, but that's just something I wrote on here. I said, so moody, uncontrollably, negative Nancy. Yeah, I was just literally not in control of my emotions and my feelings and my thoughts and my words and everything I was doing. So shout out to all of my family and Brandon for putting up with me for that. I don't think I took it out on anybody necessarily. Maybe Brandon I did sometimes, but I just was not fun to be around. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a happy person. Something I started doing was, I don't take naps, but I do get tired throughout the day. So what I've started to do is I'll set a 15-minute timer where I will just put my phone down and I'll just close my eyes for 15 minutes. And like I never fall asleep, but just closing my eyes and just having like a moment where I feel every breath that I'm breathing and it's kind of quiet. It really, really helps. Like it really just makes me feel not even like less tired, but more so like just better. I don't know how to describe it. I do that almost every day. Update from the last video. My mom found all the food that I was craving. So I did get my blue Skittles. I've already eaten all of them. I think she gave me 2 bags and they're gone. Like the big bags, they're gone. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The burritos, amazing, delicious. After like 2 or 3 of them, I was kind of like sick of them. That's still what's happening, is I get like on these kicks and I really, really want these foods. But once I have them for a couple of days, I'm like, okay, I want something new. I think it's a girl now. I really do. And I don't know if it's because I have a girl name. My moodiness and all of like the gender, genetic, what is it? Wives' tales that we did. A lot of those are different now than they were just back a couple of weeks ago when we did them. I am moody. I'll say it. I'll say I am moody. And all of just like, you know, the acne popping up. I do sleep on my right side. Contrary to what Brandon says, I sleep on both. But there's a lot of like the wives' tales and everything. And just maybe again, I don't know if it's because I have a girl name now and I'm just like, I'm picturing my girl. I think it's a girl now. This is not, oh, this is my final video again before I know. Okay, I'll make a final guess at the end because I really don't know. I know it's a 50-50 chance either way. I think I am truly 50-50 with what this baby is. I get numb very, very easily. Like if I lay, especially when I lay on my right side for too long and I'm just like on my phone, my arm gets numb, my like ribs get numb, my leg starts to get numb. And then I've heard that laying on your left side like opens up the veins on this side, so I thought that's why, but that's not even true. Like my arms just kind of go numb sometimes. My legs will go numb if I sit for too long. Not even for too long, if I just sit for a period of time, my legs start to go numb. If I'm crisscrossed for too long, or if I'm like in the same position for too long, anyway, I just get numb very quickly. Like my feet fall asleep and stuff. So I thought that was kind of weird. It's like I have all this blood now pumping through me. Like what? Why am I getting numb? But that was everything for 14 weeks. My week of just pure stress and not a good time. Not a good time. 14 weeks for me mentally and emotionally was not a good time. Physically, totally fine. Mentally and emotionally, very stressful. Nothing to do with the baby. All to do with the failed gender reveal and all the stress that came with it. So 15 weeks, great. The first thing I wrote was down a lot, still moody. And when I have moments of simple happiness, I really cherish them. So this is when I started to come out of my funk, because I was still down a lot. I was still moody. But there would be like just small windows throughout the day where I kind of like forgot that I was moody, or I just like kind of was in a better mood, and I started to notice it, and I just was like, I felt such bliss. I was like, this is how I used to feel, like happy, like this is what happiness feels like. I forgot what it feels like. But anything that I was doing in that moment, when I noticed like, oh, I'm not in a bad mood right now, I relish in it. I was just like, this is amazing. So in my heart, dear in my heart, I really cherished those special moments that made me feel happy. And I have to say now I do experience a lot more happiness. So I did come out the other end feeling just fine. Craving food I don't have, and that I haven't eaten in a while. So actually during the 15 weeks that we had a freeze, our like Texas annual February freeze. Sometimes it snows, sometimes it freezes. This was just a freeze. So we were stuck inside for like 3 days, maybe 4 days. I can't even remember. Like stuck inside. It was really cool because Brandon got to work from home, but I was not like the best person to be stuck with because I was still stressed out about the gender reveal a little bit in the beginning, but then I got hangry because I didn't plan for this freeze very well. And this baby wants food, as I said, that we haven't had in years. Like, and I don't have any of that food in my pantry right now. And I honestly didn't have like any food at all. I had some frozen stuff, but I just did not want it. So I was hangry. Nothing was getting delivered. We couldn't go out and get anything. I was like running on empty, and poor Brandon again had to put up with that. But the second the ice started to melt, we went to the store, and I have everything I've ever wanted again, so we're good to go. But yeah, that happened. So I'm also starting to get a little bit forgetful. I will forget if I've already taken Tylenol or if I've already taken my prenatal for the day. It only happened once or twice this week. I think just one day, but it was for both the pills. So I started keeping a log on my phone every time I take the pills, just in case. I mean, I don't know what the worst case scenario is if you take 2 prenatals in one day, but I don't want to find out. And also you can take multiple Tylenols in a day, but I only ever take one like dose of it a day, and I just don't want to exceed that because even me taking Tylenol all the time like this is just, I don't like that at all. I don't like taking medicine like that. I need one of those like Sunday through Saturday thingies that I think old people use. I gagged at a Frito. Yeah, I gagged at a Frito. So one of the foods I was absolutely craving during the freeze that I haven't had in forever was a Frito chili pie, a vegan Frito chili pie. I dreamt about it. I manifested it. I was like, if I could just have that right now, my whole life would be better. So we go to the store. I get all the stuff for it. The chili smell that I got, ugh, too much onion. Way too much onion. I think I would like it if it was a different chili. Unfortunately, I don't like that chili. I was able to eat them, and I like, just I was starving at that point, so I was like, this is good. This is fine. I was able to eat it, but it was not my favorite. And now the thought of like reheating it, I'm like, I don't want to. I was cleaning up everything, putting the dishes away. The Frito bag was still out, so I just like picked up a Frito and I ate just a Frito, and I legitimately gagged. That's the first time that's happened this entire pregnancy. Probably in a long time ever. Like, I don't gag at food like that. But that like lingering Frito smell and taste, it genuinely almost made me throw up. And I had just eaten like 2 chili things with Fritos in them, but I couldn't taste just the Frito. I thought that was so funny. If I would have thrown up off of a Frito, what? And then my last thing that I'm writing for today, so today is Saturday, tomorrow I will be 16 weeks. So my last sign off for 15 weeks is, was I feeling my baby moving or was my stomach growling today? I think it was stomach growling. You apparently can start feeling your baby as early as 16 weeks. Most people feel it closer to 20. I'm sure I've read somewhere. So I think maybe like it's different for everybody for sure, but I would be like very shocked if I could feel my baby super duper early. That's what I've been doing. I've really just been going through it. I definitely still have like my moody moments. I feel like this pregnancy has really just kind of like dulled my positive sunshineness, and I really would like to get that back. I think it's something I have to consistently work on and be aware of, and find things that bring me joy, and again, really cherish those special moments where I'm not feeling bad, which is like right now, like I feel good right now. Just try a little harder to get out of the funks that I could potentially get in the future. Now that I've gone through one that was pretty gnarly, I think I can kind of spot it before it happens and pull myself out of it better next time. And hopefully there won't even be a next time. Even if there are stressful things that happen, I will just do it how I usually do it, and everything's going to be fine either way. But anyway, that's 14 and 15 weeks. Roller coaster of emotions. Finding out my gender in a week, and this time for real. And I am so excited. What do I want my final guess to be? I'm so nervous to say this, because what if I'm wrong? Like, I've gone back and forth so many times, but let me think about it for just a second. Let me just think. Psst. What are you? I'm going to change my final guess to girl. There's a lot of reasons why. The wives' tales, I feel like they're leaning more towards girl. Now that I have a girl name, I have a boy name too, it just makes it feel even now. Because before with like a boy, I was like, I can only picture a boy because I know the boy's name. I can like picture what that baby will look like and be like and everything. And now that I have a girl name that I really love, I can do the same thing with a girl. So I'm just like, I think it's a girl. I think it's a girl. Also, my entire family thinks it's a girl. My entire family, and Brandon's entire family, which I count as my family too. Everybody thinks it's a girl, except for Brandon thinks it's a boy. His dad thinks it's a boy. And my cousin Lexi thinks it's a boy. And my friend Francisca thinks it's a boy. Everyone else, like 40 other people, think it's a girl. So I gotta kind of like take that into consideration. Like, are they seeing like an aura that I'm not seeing? Like, if my mom thinks it's a girl, like, I feel like there's like this intuition that she might have. I don't know. But I'm changing my guess to girl, and if it's wrong, I don't care. I'm so happy either way. Like, I'm so happy either way. I could not say that into better words. Could not put that into words more betterly. I am genuinely happy either way. I am so excited to find out this gender. Let me just like pause really quick. Another big reason that we didn't reschedule this gender reveal is because Brandon didn't want to. This is the man that I had to like kind of convince, not convince, but like really fight for a gender reveal in the first place because he thought they were silly, he thought they were extra, all the things. I told him, I was like, you know what, let's just go pick up the envelope and let's just do something special just us. And he's like, no, like we already planned it. We have all these people that want to come. We're not doing that. And I'm like, who are you? Like, since when are you the one that wants this like big thing? And I'm over here like, I don't want it anymore. So he was definitely my rock. He was definitely what kept me sane and solid, even though everything he did made me annoyed on certain days. Like he breathed wrong. He walked too loudly. I don't know, like, but this man like truly has been such a good pregnancy partner, and the fact that he wanted to have this reveal made me want to like, okay, I'll start like getting back on board with it if you really want it. So next week so next Sunday, I will film another video of how I'm feeling this week, upcoming week, and I'll tell you the gender. I'm so excited. So anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble. I'm gonna take a shower and go to bed. It's gonna be a fun Saturday night. It's a party. Having a big party. You just can't see everybody because they're over there. They've been waiting for me to be done with this because I'm the life of the party and I gotta go finish the party because I'm having a party. Because I have plans Saturday night. So, bye.